Exercising or drinking protein shakes? What's the best way to build muscle mass? Well, both can help, but there is a catch. Many people do strength training because they believe it's the best way to build muscle mass. Some add shakes as a post-workout protein boost. But in fact, what matters most for building muscle mass is how well the body absorbs the protein intake. This easy, science-backed routine has helped hundreds of thousands of men and women improve their protein absorption and rebuild their muscle mass in just 3 minutes a day.
The real reason we lose muscle mass as we age and how to easily fix it. Let's take a look at what happens when our body can't produce enough muscle. Without enough muscle, the body gets weaker and the metabolic system slows, leading to unwanted weight gain. It can also lead to hair loss, decreased immunity, broken bones, brain fogginess, and other health issues. Quite a bleak image, right? So what can be done? Many people try to gain muscle by eating foods high in protein. The problem? Foods with lots of protein only partially turn to protein in the body. For example, eggs, which give the body only 48% of usable protein. And red meat, a food we associate with protein, only gives the body 32%. This means that even eating food extremely high in protein still doesn't give the body what it needs to build muscle. What's worse, as we age, our body utilizes even less of the usable protein in foods. And when that happens, it just goes to waste, turning the protein into sugar and fat. So here's the million-dollar question. How can we get enough protein so that it's all used to build lean muscle? Good news, it can be done. This breakthrough gives 2 times more protein than eggs, 3 times more protein than meat, and 5 times more than protein shakes. To see how that looks in real time, we've made a free presentation about how to stay strong and build muscle mass even as we age.
I have regained my muscle mass.
My muscle mass has significantly increased. Look at there, hammers.
I'm gaining muscle definition in a slight way that makes me look good and feels confident.
Is it possible to build lean body mass without killing yourself in the gym?
It was amazing how quickly this worked. I have a waist again. I have abs again.
Already beginning to notice growth and muscle, and I'm starting to lose body fat.
The human body needs lots of protein in order to build lean muscle mass. But at the same time, very few people want to eat a 16-ounce steak at every meal, and most of the protein in protein powders is wasted when it comes to building lean body mass.
The natural progression of muscle loss, which basically occurs naturally as we age.
I'm just trying to look good for my age and still rock a bathing suit this summer.
I work and I've got family and a lot of responsibility, so I don't get to the gym, and I was looking for something, a little bit of help.
The science behind what the doctors were saying made sense.
Scientists have discovered something really interesting. It's a protein source that's superior to steaks, eggs, and protein powder.
I have more strength, just more balance in general in my body, less aches and pains.
With a little very effort, my biceps started coming back, my arms getting stronger.
My love handles are like half the size they were when I first started.
I've got muscle tone. I don't do much workout.
And I am slowly building up some wonderful muscle mass, shape, and definition.
Really notice more definition in body and tone.
I'm 70 years old now, and I feel like a new person.
Just for reformulating our bodies to accept protein and use protein the right way. And I've seen a world of difference. I can't say enough about it.
The weight has stayed off and the muscle tone is there.
If you'd like to stay strong and independent as you age, then listen to the story of my friend Robert. Robert's a health nut. He exercises daily, he watches what he eats, and he uses anti-aging treatments like oxidative medicine and bioidentical hormone replacement. So you'd think he'd have no trouble staying strong and youthful. But despite Robert's health regimen, he noticed that he started losing muscle mass as he got older, and he couldn't seem to stop it. Even worse, he started getting more injuries when he exercised. And one time he pulled a hamstring muscle and could not get it to heal. He tried chiropractors, acupuncture, body work, and more, but nothing worked. Then Robert came across an amazing breakthrough that changed his life forever. Within 4 weeks of using this breakthrough, Robert healed his hamstring injury completely. Even more amazing, he put on 12 pounds of lean body mass, and he did it without exercising more or changing anything else about his lifestyle. Today, Robert is 70 years old, and he's in better shape than people 30 years younger. His muscles are strong, his abs are flat and hard, his body fat percentage is only 8%. So what was this breakthrough that caused Robert to not only stop his muscle loss, but actually reverse it? Believe it or not, it's protein. Yes, protein. But Robert didn't get his amazing results by eating more protein or drinking protein shakes. No, he got those results by getting his body to make more protein. Yes, Robert got his body to make more protein. And in a moment, I'm going to tell you exactly how he did it. But first, let's review why proteins are so important. Proteins form your muscles, bones, skin, and hair. They form the connective tissue that holds you together. They even make up the messengers in your body, including your hormones, your immune cells, your enzymes, and your brain chemicals. Think about that. Think about what it means. If you don't have enough protein, you lose muscle mass, your hair gets brittle, and your skin sags, and your bones become weaker, and your immune system becomes sluggish. But that's not all. Your sex drive suffers. You become anxious or depressed. You become more likely to fall and suffer a hip fracture, and less likely to recover from one. I'm sure you can see why proteins are so important, and why not having enough can be bad for your health. So where do all these important proteins come from? Most people think they come from the diet, but that's not entirely accurate. The truth is that proteins are made by your body. But your diet's important because it supplies the amino acids, which are the building blocks that create those proteins. Here's how it works. Let's say you're eating a protein source, like a meat or fish. This meat or fish goes into your stomach and begins to get digested. Your digestive system then breaks down the protein into the amino acids. Those amino acids then go through your small intestine into your bloodstream. And from there, they're distributed throughout your entire body. The body then takes those amino acids and uses them to make whatever proteins it needs. Some of the amino acids are made into muscle, some of them are made into organ cells, some of them are made into hormones, and so on. However, not all the amino acids get turned into proteins. Some of them get turned into glucose and are burned for energy. This is a remnant of our caveman days. When we were cavemen, food was scarce. So we needed to be able to get energy regardless of what food we ate. Berries, no problem. They contain carbs that are burned for energy. Nuts, they contain fats that are burned for energy. Freshly killed squirrel, some of the protein in the meat is turned into lean body mass, and the rest of it is turned into glucose for energy. So how can you tell if your body is using the protein for muscle or if it's turning it into excess glucose? Well, scientists have answered this question. You see, amino acids contain nitrogen, and when amino acids are turned into proteins, the nitrogen remains in your body as part of the protein. But when the amino acids are converted into sugar, the nitrogen is released and passed through to your urine. So if you want to know if your food is being turned into protein or sugar, all you have to do is measure the amount of nitrogen in your urine. This measurement is called protein utilization. Here's how it works. If a dietary protein has a protein utilization of 100%, it means that there is no nitrogen in your urine and that the body is using 100% of the amino acids in that food to build body protein. That's great. On the other hand, if a protein source has a protein utilization of 10%, that means your body is only using 10% of the amino acids in that protein to make body protein. That means your body is turning 90% of those amino acids into sugar. Not good. So what's the best source of dietary protein? The one with the highest protein utilization. Scientists found out that it's breast milk with a protein utilization of 49%. That makes sense because babies need an efficient source of dietary protein. But we're not babies. So what's the next best source of protein? The next best source of protein is whole eggs. Whole eggs have a protein utilization of 47%, but it has to be the whole egg. If you just eat the egg white, like many so-called health experts tell you to do, you're only going to get a protein utilization of 17%. Why is that? It's because egg yolks contain the essential amino acid methionine. Take out the yolk, and you seriously limit the egg's protein building value. After whole eggs come meat, poultry, and fish. They're all equal with a protein utilization of around 32%. But it really goes downhill from there. You know all those expensive protein powders, for example? They're supposed to be so great at building muscle. But if they're your go-to source of protein, you're going to be disappointed. Protein powders have a protein utilization of just 17%. Now, this includes protein powders made from soy, dairy, and even eggs. A protein utilization of 17% means that 83% of that protein is turned into sugar. And finally, how about spirulina, a very popular protein supplement made from algae? Depending on the brand, spirulina has a protein utilization from 0 to 6%. It's practically worthless as a protein source. So let's get back to the original problem. Why do people lose so much lean body mass as they get older? There are 3 main reasons. The first reason is that they're not eating enough protein. The second is that they're eating the wrong source of protein. And the third is that they're not digesting their protein. You see, it's not enough to eat the right proteins. You also have to digest those proteins and break them down into amino acids. The older we get, the weaker our digestive systems tend to be. We make less stomach acid and digestive enzymes. And this can cause a downward spiral. Remember earlier when I mentioned that enzymes are actually proteins? Well, if you're protein deficient, it stands to reason that you would not make enough digestive enzymes. That means that you would not digest your food properly. This would make you even more protein deficient, which would then lead to even lower enzyme production and so on. But what if you didn't have to rely on your digestive system to build protein? But what if you could skip that part of the process entirely and just take amino acids? Amino acids would go directly into your bloodstream. They would then be used to build muscle, bone, connective tissue, hormones, enzymes, and more. Well, that is exactly what my friend Robert did. He took amino acids orally, but he didn't just go to the health food store and buy an off-the-shelf amino acid product. Why? Because he found that you can't just take amino acids willy-nilly. You have to take the right amino acids in the right combinations. So let me explain to you how this works. You already know that proteins are made up of amino acids. Some of these amino acids are made up by your body all on its own, but there are 8 amino acids you have to get from your diet. These 8 are called the essential amino acids. You'd think that if you took all 8 essential amino acids, your body would turn all of them into protein, right? That's what I always thought, because that's what I learned in medical school. But like many things I learned in school, there's a lot more to this story. It turns out that we can't just take those 8 amino acids. We also need to get them in the right balance, because otherwise we may end up with too much of one amino acid and not enough of another one. To illustrate this concept, imagine you owned a bicycle factory, and imagine you had plenty of handlebars, seats, and frames, but you only had 1 pair of tires. Well, it doesn't matter how many of the other parts you have. If you only have 1 pair of tires, you're only going to make 1 bicycle. The rest of the parts just go to waste. That's the same thing that happens when you take amino acids in the wrong balance. Remember earlier when I mentioned that when you eat meat, your body only gets 32% of the protein? The reason is that the amino acids in meat are not in the right balance. So the extra aminos get turned into sugar. Fortunately, there is a solution to the problem. Taking the 8 amino acids in the exact right balance is the solution. How do we know it's the right balance? Because when we tested the product, it had a protein utilization of 99%. That's right, 99%. That means that 99% of the amino acids in the product are used by your body to make proteins, and only 1% are wasted. The results were so great that we decided to create a product called Advanced Amino Formula. I already told you about what happened when Robert took these aminos. In just a few weeks, he healed his hamstring injury, boosted his strength and overall health, and put on an amazing 12 pounds of lean body mass. He was so excited by the results that he started giving it to all his patients. And they got great results too. They got more muscle, less body fat, they got stronger nails, shinier hair. They reported an overall sense of greater well-being. Today, hundreds of thousands of people have benefited from Advanced Amino, and now you can too. You can get your youthful muscle mass back. You can strengthen your bones to protect yourself from fractures. You can gain an overall sense of health and vitality. Imagine how great it will feel to have a strong body for life. Imagine how great it would feel to enjoy life without the fear of being dependent on others, and without the fear that you're going to fall down and suffer a hip fracture. Well, you can have all that and more with Advanced Amino. Because you know what? Advanced Amino isn't just for boosting muscle and bone mass. It helps you, 1, get younger looking skin and hair. That's because youthful skin and hair have more collagen. And collagen is made from, you guessed it, protein. Advanced aminos also improves your endurance. In one case study, a 51-year-old female athlete hiked for 341 miles while carrying a 48-pound backpack. But this was no ordinary hike. It was through the Taklamakan Desert, where the terrain is treacherous and the daily temperatures range from scorching heat to below freezing. During the hike, she took the amino acids as her only dietary source of protein. The doctors monitoring her expected her to waste away. Instead, she increased her lean body mass, improved her cardiorespiratory function, increased her red blood cells and hemoglobin, and lowered her resting heart rate. Advanced aminos prevents injuries. A friend works with professional cyclists. He found that no matter what kind of treatments he gave them, they developed injuries after long-distance races. But when Robert gave his friend the aminos and his friend gave it to the cyclists, they remained injury-free. Advanced amino also strengthens your bones. Collagen is very important for strong bones. In fact, bones consist almost entirely of minerals like calcium plus collagen. It's the collagen that holds the minerals together. So when you don't have enough collagen, the minerals leak out of your bones. From there, they can form kidney stones, plaques, and other things you don't want. But when you do have enough collagen, the minerals stay in your bones and keep them strong. Additionally, advanced amino supports better mental concentration and a better mood. Your moods and your concentration are governed by chemicals called neurotransmitters. Neurotransmitters are proteins, and to make them, your body needs to have the right balance of aminos. Advanced amino also boosts your immunity to fight infections. Antibodies help you to fight off infections. And antibodies are made of, guess what? Protein. So when your body has the right protein building blocks, it can make plenty of antibodies. And advanced amino helps alleviate food sensitivity symptoms. If you suffer from food sensitivities, you may have what's called leaky gut. Those leaky membranes allow undigested food particles to get into your bloodstream, which then causes your immune system to attack. But here's some good news. Your gut membranes are made of proteins. Yes, advanced amino can do all of this and more, simply by giving your body the right balance of essential aminos for your optimum health. And now you can try them at the lowest price. A 1-month supply of advanced amino is just $39.95 plus shipping. That's only $1.33 a day, less than a cup of coffee. But if you want to save money and make sure you have enough advanced amino on hand, I'm going to suggest you try the 3-month advanced amino savings pack. The 3-month supply is just $107.85 plus shipping. You save 10% off the regular price. Or for the biggest savings plus free shipping, try the 6-month pack. If you're really serious about maintaining your strength and independence for the long run and saving more money, you should try the 6-month Advanced Amino Best Value Pack. A 6-month supply is just $199.50, and you get free shipping. And this is by far the best value, because you save $40.20 off the regular price. It's like getting 1 month for free. Plus, you get free shipping and handling. To get started, simply click on the button below. You take absolutely no risk to try Advanced Amino because of our 90-day, no questions asked guarantee. Now, I know how effective Advanced Amino is, and I stand by this amazing formula. In fact, I guarantee Advanced Aminos in 2 ways. Number 1, you will see an improvement in your strength and overall well-being in the first few months. Guaranteed, or your money back. 2, you will continue to see dramatic improvements. That's because Advanced Amino works for the long term. If you don't see any improvement in the first few months, or if you're not satisfied with Advanced Amino for any reason whatsoever, simply return the empty bottles within 90 days for a full refund of every penny you paid, including shipping and handling. You only pay for return shipping. No questions asked, no fine print. Either you're absolutely thrilled with the results you get, or you pay nothing. So I recommend that you go for the value packs and order 3 or 6 bottles. Why? Because the longer you take Advanced Amino, the longer you will get results. It would be great if Advanced Amino were a magic pill that you could just take once and never have to take again, but unfortunately, life doesn't work that way. You wouldn't expect to exercise for a month and then stop and continue to stay in great shape forever. You wouldn't expect to eat a healthy diet for just a month and then expect the effects of that to last forever. And you wouldn't expect to just take your vitamins for a month either. Well, the same thing goes for Advanced Amino. It works amazingly well, but only as long as you continue to take it. And since you're going to want to continue to get great results, wouldn't it make sense to order multiple bottles and save the money? If you're still on the fence, consider this. When you try Advanced Amino, the worst thing that can happen is that you're not happy with the results you get. You can simply ask for a full refund and you don't lose a thing. But what if it works for you? That means you can finally stop worrying about your weakening muscles and frail bones. You can sleep well knowing that you're reducing your risk of falls and fractures. You can enjoy youthful muscle tone, strong bones, and a boost in your overall well-being. And you can enjoy life to the fullest, even as you age. As you can see with this 90-day guarantee, you get all the upside without any of the downside. I now recommend Advanced Amino to all my patients, and I take it myself too. And if you'd like to stay healthy and strong and independent as you age, I urge you to click the button below. Since we first ran this video, it has gone viral and has been watched all over the world. People have ordered the product in droves and have given us rave reviews. For example, Happy from Houston says, "My back problems just went away since I began taking Advanced Aminos. Plus, my muscles have all gotten bigger without even working out." And Jackie from Australia says, "I have improved energy. It feels like my muscles are waking up and working. Also improved digestion and reduced premenopausal symptoms." And Mara from Ottawa, Canada says, "It helps me with food cravings and makes me feel full with less food." Marge from Marble Falls, Texas says, "I've been using this product and have a big increase in my strength and stamina. I'm 83 years old, and it enables me to keep up with those many years younger and do those activities which I have always enjoyed." And Dylan from Hong Kong says, "After taking 2 bottles, I noticed that my white hair turned black. Due to the growing demand for the product, it's difficult for us to predict how many bottles we need to manufacture at any given time. And due to our stringent quality control measures, it takes weeks to produce and bottle each fresh batch. There are times when we have had to go on back order. We hate when that happens because we pride ourselves on offering good customer service and prompt delivery. So if we have to go on back order again, we may be forced to suspend this offer until we catch up. To get started, simply click the button below. If we still have Advanced Amino in stock, you'll be taken to our order page where you can enter your information and stock up. If not, we will notify you when we expect to have Advanced Amino back in stock. So please click the button below now. Still not sure you want to try Advanced Amino? Then let me answer some of the most frequently asked questions about the product. 1. Is Advanced Amino safe? Yes. Advanced Amino contains the natural amino acids that your body needs to make protein. It has been taken by hundreds of thousands of people, and there have been absolutely no reported serious side effects. However, people who have the rare genetic disorder called PKU should always monitor their phenylalanine levels and should only take amino acids under a doctor's supervision. Can I take Advanced Amino if I have blood sugar issues? Yes, you can. Advanced Amino does not raise your blood sugar. Does Advanced Amino acid contain any artificial ingredients, allergens, or GMOs? The amino acids in Advanced Amino are from natural plant sources. Advanced Amino does not contain any gluten, soy, corn, wheat, dairy, rice, or GMOs, and it does not contain any fat, sodium, sugar, or preservatives. Is Advanced Aminos vegan? Yes, it is vegan. It contains absolutely no animal products. How long will it take for me to see results? Well, everyone's different. Some people feel results right away with the very first dose. Others take a month or so. So to get the full benefits, we recommend taking the product for at least 3 months. People who do so report increases in their strength, muscle mass, and endurance. They also report a shorter recovery period after exercise. I've read there are 9 essential amino acids. Why did you leave out histidine in Advanced Amino? Well, it's because histidine isn't actually an essential amino acid. Your body can make histidine, and when you take Advanced Amino, the histidine level in your blood will rise within 1 hour. Another amino acid that's often called essential is arginine. However, your body can make arginine too. And after taking advanced amino, your arginine level will rise right along with your histamine level. When you take advanced amino, your body has the building blocks to make all of the proteins it needs. Well, what is the best way to take advanced amino? For the absolute best results, take advanced amino away from all other proteins. That means taking it at least a half an hour before a meal or 2 hours after. However, if you end up taking it with the meal, that's okay too. You won't get the full 99% protein utilization that you would get on an empty stomach, but you will still assimilate much of the protein. In essence, what you will be doing is raising the protein utilization of the other proteins in the meal you're eating. I'm not an athlete. Is advanced amino right for me? Advanced amino isn't just for athletes. It's for everybody. Our bodies are continually breaking down muscle, bone, hair, intestinal lining, and more, and we need to replace that. We need the right amino acids in the right balance to do the job, and we also need to be able to digest or absorb those amino acids. Advanced amino can help with all of that. Can I take advanced amino on a ketogenic diet, or if I'm fasting to get into ketosis? Yes. As you probably know, even eating a protein like steak will start to get you out of ketosis. That's because more than half the protein in the steak will be wasted, and that waste is converted into sugar in your body. However, when you take advanced aminos, you get the protein your body needs while still staying in ketosis. That's because when you take advanced amino, 99% of it is used to make body protein, and almost none of it converts to sugar. Question: I feel great and I eat really well. How can advanced amino acids help me? First, keep doing what you're doing. You're setting yourself up for continued great health by doing that even as you age. But the fact is this: many people lose up to 30% of their muscle mass by the time they're 60 or 70. Their bones can weaken, their digestive system's weakening. So why wait until there's a problem? Instead, you could keep up your health habits and take advanced amino. That's what I do to ensure that I'll be able to enjoy my life even as I age. Well, how do I know advanced amino really works? The best way to know if advanced amino works for you is to try it. And trying it is risk-free with our 90-day down to the last tablet guarantee. That way you can experience advanced amino, see the results, and decide for yourself. Where can I get advanced amino? To get your introductory supply, simply click the button below.